Howdy, howdy. I assume it's rolling. Yeah, kind of is. Oh, my hair's awful. Where, oh where is the cord? There it is. Charging cord for the phone. Oh, somebody tried calling me. Was it somebody important? It was a likely scam. Okay. Let's turn volume to the down. Sorry, you're looking at the the field of infinite over here. I have a lot of tasks to do today, one of which is to continue scouring my engine so that I can get all the old stuff off of it. I don't like working on vehicles. I normally hire somebody to do that, but didn't really have infinite extra money for that task, so. Alright. Oh, today's list. See, the old one never cleared. Whatevs. It may or may not update. You can see the old text is still there. I guess the old text didn't clear last time either. Weird. But the new chat window is up. It's behind my head there, so. What else? Oh, today I get to rant a little bit and work a little bit and other things. So, still trying to wrap my head around the new input system. I'm not a huge fan. You know, I've been going in and out with it. Some things I think, you know, okay, that makes sense. Maybe that would be cool. And then other times I'm like, I don't know. But the old input system has gone the way of the dinosaur. It's deprecated. They're going to remove it completely, I think, in the next few updates. So, I don't know. There are things that I like about it, things that I don't like about it. In general, I think it's neat. See, BotRix updated over here, but it didn't update here. I wonder if I closed. I haven't actually closed this window, so maybe this is not. I know. Anyway, I like the idea of the inputs in some ways being simplified. I do appreciate that. But at the same time, I don't have direct access to a lot of the stuff that comes out of there. That bothers me. Like with the timings for the taps, I can influence it in there, but I have to do it per variable. I don't have like if I want to go into that particular input, I have to go and make changes to that specific input. And whereas if I handle it myself, I can create a system that I just I have a variable that specifies certain timings, and I don't know. But then there's also the issue that I'm currently having, which is all the controls are sort of encapsulated. So like here's my scribble, you know. I like to do controls, you know, up here. You know, I have my controls, and then all of my inputs or whatever, and when I push them, they go down to the state machine. and my state machine determines based on, because the whole idea is you could have multiple characters, right? The controls that you have should be universally thought of, so that if I push a button, it doesn't matter what button I push, right? That sends a signal to the player character, and the player character, through its state machine, figures out what that button is supposed to do and what to execute, and whether or not it can or can't execute it. And then, because Unreal does a lot of encapsulation of everything, then there's the animator. So once the state machine determines what it can do, it then funnels information off to the animation system, and the animation system plays the correct animation. That's technically two different state machines. I'm not a huge fan of that, because that means that there can be a timing mismatch between these two. You can have a timing mismatch between controls and the state machine, but that's less noticeable than these two. So I'm trying to wrap my head around their system so that I can adequately implement this. The way that I currently have this set up is not helpful, so I'm going to have to go and rewrite a bunch of this, which is fine because I just started it, so it's not like it's too much to rewrite. But I was trying to change the way that I'm thinking about the controls versus inputs versus actions. I thought maybe that would help, but I don't know if that's helping. Because when I thought of it as action-oriented versus input-oriented, I found that I was, and I did a test to make sure. So for example, I did this one. I made a double tap, and I wrote double tap logic, but I took that out because I found a method for using a double tap that works. Though, again, because I don't have control over it, I might go back to using mine. But anyway, so instead of it being control-oriented, I made I labeled these with actions in mind. So in this case, start and stop flying. So the start flying one is basically a double tap, right? So I double tap to start flying. But also to start dashing, it's a double tap. So in either of those cases, this is getting called here, and this is getting called. They're both double taps. They both look at the same thing. Whatever happens later is what ends up happening. So this one overwrites this one. But I have an additional issue. You can be dashing at the same time you're flying. So that state needs to be adjusted. It's not an independent state. So that's something I have to fix. But also, this input action has to be somehow separated. But there goes some of the separation, right? If the input system should not know anything about the character. Okay, and you can see that in here, I'm specifying the state that I want the character to be in. This is not correct, because that means that the input system has to know about the character states. It shouldn't know anything about the character states. It should be calling a function on that character for whatever is supposed to be happening. So I'm going to rewrite this to better suit that logic. There's a downside to doing it quickly to make sure it works, and then going back and fixing it. It's double work. The upside is you get small milestones, and you get those little dopamine hits, and you're like, oh yes, I'm doing something. But then you get the crash, and you're like, ah, crap, I have to go back and fix it. Ugh. So anyway, me ranting, but I'm going to hit play. Some progress has been made. Oh yeah, I should. There, I marked it as a solution. So if you remember last time, I actually posted a message board thing on here. Because on the original, it was fine. But when I would load in on the new version of it, it wouldn't load the assets in. And I was like, well, what's going on here? And I kept banging my head around it trying to figure out what was going on. I'm going in my rant and I'm like, everything's the same. If I use the migration tool, which I used, it doesn't work. And if I do it manually, which I did, it doesn't work. But the hierarchies are all the same, so there shouldn't be any issue. And then I took the screenshots and I was like, oh, here I have it written as static mesh for that folder, and here it's static meshes. There is a name change, and then I changed the name back, so now it works. So here we are in the new one. There's all this stuff. And I was like, I'm an idiot. But yeah. Sometimes you have to talk about your problem. Oh, I should change this. I thought I'd save this as lit mode. But it looks pretty in here. Look, all those crystals. So nice. Yay. Should be hit play. Now I can't move because I disabled movement. But it is a bit of progress. I got these all back in here. Let's move this thing somewhere. I almost never use these while I'm working on the project, so I'll go put that over there. So the last couple things that I did update this door, although I had to create an entity for it. Path guides, I migrated these over. I don't know if they work though. Let me take a look. These are just blueprint entities, so I don't see why it wouldn't work, but there's that one. Window, where is the event graph? I'll just open it here. Yeah, that's just a little capsule marker. So that one's pretty simple. I went to try to hit the thing. Let's see this one. Path scan. This one might be broken. Locking the axis. That looks fine. Forward trace. Is forward trace still working? Yeah, I don't see any errors, so that should probably work just fine. So I'll pop one of those out there just so you can see what it does. I'll pull out path scan. So what this does is it should pretty much regardless of where I put it, it should snap itself to the 0 of the y-axis, and then it should provide a scan for me. So if I hit play mode, doesn't look like it's snapped to the y-axis though. It's supposed to. Go ahead. Let's see, I get the actor, forward vector, lock my y-axis. Yeah, y should always be 0. That's on tick, so that should always be happening, and then it should run that. So him being there, I'll keep him selected, hit play. Allegedly, he's at 0. Although it doesn't look like it says at 0 here, but it looks like he's not. Yeah, fly out and see. He is. Okay. Cool. And then this, if I move him, I don't see the raycast happening. But I should have a visible raycast that lets me know if I'm hitting stuff. Wonder why that's not showing up. Forward trace does ignore self. For 1 frame, actors. Sphere trace by channel, yes. Maybe I don't have a length. I don't have a length. Or a radius. Those are 0. Oh, let's put... those should be available live. So what I'll do... I'll move you a little bit. So here, let me adjust the radius and the length. We'll hit play. There we go. Looks like I'm only getting partial scan though. But the whole point is this will give me feedback if I hit something. And it's like, well, why is that important? And the answer is, when I'm placing stuff in the level, I want to make sure the path of the character is clear, so I know what will be in his way and what will not be in his way. Although this should be on event construct, it shouldn't be on begin play. But neither here nor there. That's fine. All right. So that's working. Other things that I got, I moved the door over. So here's the door. Yay. But I haven't written the C++ version of the door yet. I'm going to have to go do that. Like, I don't have to do that. I could blueprint the whole thing. It's like, what's the benefit of C++ing it? More control. But really, there's no harm in setting the blueprint for this. It's a simple door. What it needs to do is travel. There's a travel point on here. So the way that these work is if I bring a door in. Somebody's calling me. I'm curious. I'm not curious enough. Usually it's a scammer. Anyway, so if I pop a door in here, the way that these work is I gotta orient it correctly. Although I should have designed this with an arrow component. Let me go back into the blueprint for that, because I need to know which is the front and back of the door. Arrow. Okay, so the entry, and I did make it bigger on one side. So this is the open door trigger, and the transport is this way. So I want the arrow to point. Which way are you pointing? Ah. That way. Can I scale the arrow? I can. Beautiful. There we go. So now I know which way the door has to point. Yay. And the whole point of the door, of course, I'll put this door here. I'll make another one over there. So right now we're not going to load a level. Ideally, I would have a level for it to drop me into. I don't have a door anywhere else, so... Actually, these aren't set up to do local spawn, so it won't transport me. But I would provide a level name. B is awake is whether or not the door is active. And then which way the character needs to be facing when it comes out the door. Is he facing right or left? Or whatever not. So what I can do is this. Since this is a blueprint only object at the moment, what I can do, I need to begin play here. The doors need to know who Selden is. And he doesn't really need to know who Selden is. I could do some stuff to get around that, but it's just easier if I make it know who Selden is. I could do like a broadcast or something. That's whatever. So I'm going to cast to the character blueprint. Get the player character from there. And then let's put this into the player variable. Okay. So these on the overlap, they're supposed to check if the thing that hit is in fact the thing that I want to hit. So actually, yeah, I don't have to do that here. I could do these as casts, but these are bad actors just because when I moved it over, the entity no longer existed, so it died. Just debating whether or not it's better to do a comparison, but Because if the cast is successful, it'll pass. So that it should be fine. I don't really even need to it'll probably just say it's redundant. Oh crap. I didn't check if it was play from start or if it was play from play. Okay. There is a difference. I'd be better off to do an is valid check. Actually, that was a reverse, right? Yeah. I think that's all I need there. And this one is level to load. We only want this to happen if the actor is what I want it to be. Although I need to provide a provision for if this is none. So what I can do is a branch. We'll do equal to none. It's none with a capital N, so none. So if it is not none, we'll go here. If it is none, we will actually not go there. We're going to spawn to the other door. Although now I have to make it aware of the other door. So much for being a simple thing. This is not going to be clean. I'm going to do get all actors of class. And then if the other actor is a door, we will do a comparison to make sure it's not self. So I'll do get by reference. I'll get a copy is fine. And actually, I'll do this off of a loop. So we'll say we want the element. We want to check to see if it's not itself. So we'll say not equal to itself. If it's not itself, then we will break this. So branch. And then if it's not itself, we will break. I do need to store a reference of the door, though. So then this needs to be promoted to a variable. We'll call that found door. This is not the cleanest way, because if I have multiple doors, I'd have to check by tag. Cool, and then this goes here. Alright, assuming the thing that we hit is not ourself, we're going to go there, and then off of completed, we're going to travel to that door's location. And it should put like a thing there for the exit location. So spawn location, yes. It does, okay. So if I go here, wow, these are never set up. Okay, that one does have value. That one has value. That one has a value. So right start right end, bottom start bottom end, spawn location. Spawn location shouldn't be 0. Spawn location should be some position outside the door. That should be here. That's at 0. I wonder if I never set it to anything. Yeah, because I don't want to spawn here, because this is the moment I step through. This is what travels me. So I want to exit the front of the door, actually. So this spawn location should be here. But where is there in space? That should be can I show a 3D widget? Let me compile. I'll come out of the thing. You know, I probably had it, if I remember my old self, I probably had it set to 0 with the other door being open. But it's okay. I'll put the spawn location here. And it's fine for this to actually be widget controllable because there might be a ledge or something in front of this guy. So I'll just put it here. So that one will be there, and then the other one, we have a here, will be here. If I grab him, get his spawn location, I'll put it here. Okay. I want to get a reference to him. This is why having a reference is good, but I'm going to go ahead and nuke the variable I'm not using him. But I'll just pull off of here. Set actor location to here. And the location will be the spawn location. And then I can choose how I want to do this. Sweep means it's going to check for boundaries. Teleport just means to spawn it there. That should work. Hopefully without crashing. Okay. So in theory, this door, it will be awake. And it doesn't matter if I'm facing right or left in this case because I don't have the character in there. The other door I'll make that one awake as well. Oh, before I do that, I really should save all, because this could just break the game. So in theory, I should be able to... Oh, I can't walk. I can't move because I disabled movement. Hold on a second. What stop? Where is the character? So the reason I disabled movement is I have my own movement variables here. And I need to extract the velocity from the character, but I need to make sure, because the character movement component has default movements, I want to make sure that I'm reading the correct value. So I was just experimenting. It should read the correct value, but it's been a while since Unreal, so. Okay, I'll hit play. Now I should be able to move, yay. That's not cool. I can move off. I need to fix that. So I'm going to do this on a tick event. I'm not going to do it on a move event. So on the tick event, I just want to make sure that the X or the Y value of the character is 0. So set actor location. Put here. I want this to be I really should make this a function, but this will be float get actor. Sorry, float. I'll say location X. Get actor location. And then the other one will be, though, I need the X, Y, and Z for those. And I don't need the Y. Location X, 0. Z. Really? There we go. I hate to do that on tick, but I'm going to need to do it on tick just to make sure that Selden never wanders off the y-axis. Like he just did. Speaking of which, I should check to make sure these have a 0 Y position. And then this spawn should be at 0. Yes. There we go. Door opened. It teleported me to the thing, but I did not quite get there. Wonder why I didn't... Let's go back. Let's check the spawn location. I mean, this should spawn me immediately as I hit that, so I'm not worried about that. This one is probably dropping me through the ground. I think it is. Put the Z value to 0. Not your Z value. This thing's Z value. Is its Y value not 0? That's weird. bizarre. Huh. It should pop me out at the other door. I'm gonna move this over just a tad. Also, that should be... I wonder why these are flipped. I'm probably seeing a relative gimbal. Yeah. I think that's the case here. Hey, thank you. Wonder why he's popping out in the weird spot, though. Anyway. Alright, I'm going to go through this door again. It spawned me here. So it's not spawning me at the location of the door. It is spawning me to the location in world space. I think this is actually 000. Let me pop out and figure out where Selden is. Yeah, it's spawning me at world location 0. So it is not getting the relative location of the of that. And that's really bizarre. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I'm using this object's thing, so what's weird about that is I should, at the very least, because I didn't tell it, I erroneously did not tell it to use the other one's spawn location. I told it to use itself, but what I should get is the world location of that, and then the found door. Where's found door? Get spawn location. This one. Still put me there. Nice. Jer Bear decided she wanted to knock something off the bed. I petted your belly once. You only get one belly pet. Access none, trying to read property from found door. So it didn't find the door? Weird. It also didn't save none. I put none in here. I could be more specific. Like I said, I'm a target door. So it's not the search for one. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's not the point of this day. Although I am curious. But it's not really that big of a puzzle for me to solve. I have a suspicion, which is... I mean, that by itself could be enough, but it's weird that this is getting none. Because there are two doors in this scene. It should look at the first, it doesn't really matter which door, but it should look at the list of doors, and the first one that it finds that is not itself, it should populate. and then it should break. And then off of break, it should do this. But anyway, using a search algorithm live in game is not good. They're just not. It takes some time for everything to search through, and you may get an asynchronous search, which is probably what's happening. I'm getting thrown before the object is found. I can test that by checking to see if, well, before I even enter the door, let me just exit real quick and grab the door. Of course, nothing is to load. It's on awake. And the door reference, so found door. Really? There is no found, although there should be. That variable is alive, right? Okay. Error components on there. It definitely should have a found door. Now, it's currently not public, but what I can do is just change that. So currently found door is none. We'll come back in and I'll hit this. Found door is still none. So it never found the other door. So instead I can do this. Let's break off the search, because this search is probably not happening anyway. Like, it might be happening, but it's probably failing to find. Instead, I'll make this to be target door. And now I can, inside of here, I can grab you, get the target door. That'll be door 2. And then I'll select door 2, and I'll set the target door, door 1. Let's see what happens. Still putting me there. It doesn't make sense to go here. So what I'm thinking is, in code, it's set to always set Selden's y-axis to 0. And it looks like on here, my spawn location, if I grab that guy, you can see the y value is being set here, but everything else is 0. So what I should try to see if I can get the world location of this, because it's giving me the relative location, and I'm guessing that this guy... Because the door... actually, I don't know if I can show relative gimbal in here. Where is it? There should be a world... cycles transform gizmos. There we go. So yeah, you can see the relative transform on this. This is its Y position. And it is relative 0 here. So I need to get the world position of that. What is the world position? Although that bugs me. It does bug me. Hold on a second. It says rotation back to 0. I dumb did a stupid. I must have built this facing the wrong axis. Hold on a second. I did. I built it facing the y-axis. So I done did a stupid. That would explain it. Now, realistically, that doesn't matter as much because when I go into the door, I'm teleporting to the next spawn location in the level. I'm not really spawning to the door. But it would be nice if the door was reliable, so I'm going to have to adjust the door. Problem is, this is probably exported from Maya in this orientation, and I'm not allowed to rotate it as the main transform object. So here's the, he is currently the scene root. So I'll have to create a scene root and make him a child of the scene root. And then all of the elements of the door could then be moved. So I'll do a root, maybe a scene component. And now the door can be rotated. And that needs to be facing the x-axis. Unreal has a hard time with absolute values. Like if you rotate something 90 degrees, it's always 89.9999999. It just doesn't like whatever. Now I can try forcing this to be the root again from here. We'll see if it lets me. Yes. So that's a bit of a hack. Let's see if it stays that way, though. There is, of course, a scene root. I'm going to keep the scene root in here for the moment and just see if this updates correctly. I'm not sure. Huh. It's not oriented facing X. But it should be. I'm going to close it. Reopen it. Facing Y. So the scene root is going to need to be the scene root. Now they've updated. Cool. One thing I can also do, let me get this guy off of here. Really? That should find the home position. I wonder if it doesn't because I put the scene root in there and that's broken. Doesn't matter. But now the spawn location's over here. So we take the spawn location, I'll set that to 0. And let's see if I can actually appear at the spawn locations. I'm not getting the world spawn location, so we'll just check it. Nope, it still popped me over here. But that is no longer 0. Let's do that again. I'm popped over here. Let me fly out. So he's way over here. I love how I said it's not that big of a deal, but here I am fiddling with it. So the door has an X value of 160 and then 0, 0. So if it snaps me to that position, it would be 160, 0, 0 for him. So let me find Selden. So I'm probably getting a literal, yeah, 170, 0, 0, but more or less, it's popping to that specific value. It's not giving me that location here. So what I can do, I can make the spawn location a relative. I can do some relative math up here. I'm not casting here. A couple of things that I can do. I can make a physical object and have it there, and then be at that object. But I think it'd just be simpler to take the get actor location. Whoops. And then the position that came off of it was relative, but in the positive, so I should be able to add. And then I'm going to set the spawn location. So that should give me the relative, or the actual world location of the spawn location. Right, so assuming that this position he is -6 something. And if I were to clone the door and pop it about there, that would be 450. So, you know, a negative plus a positive should give me that, in theory. There we go. And I'm back here. And then the receiving door should be in the open position automatically, and then when I come out of it, it should close. So custom event set open. And then we'll do a set to close. What do we got? I need the left, right, and bottom door pieces. Set relative location. And then let's just duplicate this. Bottom door. So right door end. Here's right door. Organizing my bubbles. Set the right door. This is bottom door. Here's left door. Bottom door. So that sets open position, and then setting the closed position should just be this. These are all zeros, aren't they? Yeah, they're all zeros. So really, I can just plug them all into here with the target position of 0. But what I should do, in the event that those values ever change, is I should use the start positions of these. Because those are relative, so it might be forthcoming for me to do that ahead of time. And then I can call these functions. And I want to call this as well. So once I get there, it should spawn me, and then the door should be already open, and then it should proceed to close. It did not. Do I have a check here? I do. Alright, so when I pop over there, it is not setting the position, but why not? End. Am I teleporting these? No. That shouldn't matter. I should just pop them in. Why not? That's the level loader. These are the begin and ending overlaps. Could set up a bool and have it ignore. It might be that when I'm hitting this, something's happening. So I'm gonna do this. Just in case. I'm gonna spawn way the heck a doodle over here. We'll see if I'm triggering this. No, it's already closed. Bink. See, it should be the opposite. I should spawn here and I should be closing, not opening. I don't know why this is here. Hmm. Weird. This was not my goal for the day. My goal for the day was to set up some animations and test them. Not fiddle with the stupid door. For functionality that I'm probably never going to use. But I do want it to be open when you know. Classic Metroidvania style. You go through a Metroid door, on the other side it's open. You come out. I'm not sure why it's not setting to... I'm going to go ahead and break the animation. Let's break the transport. Now keep the transport there. I'm gonna break these though. And then on begin play, I'm gonna go ahead and open the doors. Open door. So that worked. So it does set. That call should work. So now I'm going to go through and see if it's open. Actually, I'm going to stop that. I'm going to leave this broken. Because the transport trigger is still active. Oh, and I broke the, I had to put the closed door thing back on. Where are you at? Let me steal you. Bubble code. Yay, bubble code. So I should open with the door ready, and then when I pop through, it should have received the signal to close by now. did not. I'm going to move you closer. Toss me in. We know this is happening. Set door to open position. Does not seem to be happening. So I'm going to break this. I'm going to jump over the thing. I might not be able to jump over it. It might be too high. Oh, it's too high. I don't have super jump. I don't have fly either. Let's go back to here. Where is the controller? I will disable dashing. Now I should be able to fly. They should set the fly value. Back over here. Yep. Okay. I have to go work on my car in a little bit. Not a fan. Gerber, you are a big kitten. You're lucky that the program started. I was going to pick you up and kiss your face. That would cause me some trouble, though. Because if I give her attention, she'll want it forever. So with Misty, I would just kiss her face, and then I'd set her back down, and she'd just get all comfortable again. This one is really obsessive. So it spawned me here, but it does not set the door. You know what I'm not doing? I'm an idiot. We've talked about this. No. The problem is, it probably is setting these values, but it's doing it on the other door. This should be from this door, the target door. Yeah, I can't set a delay to the target though. It's weird that it doesn't kick in right away. There it goes. So the door was open, but it slammed shut. It didn't play shut, it slammed shut. So on here, are you set to play last frame? Sync to view. Replicated, ignore, time dilation, loop, autoplay. What I might do is have a reverse one of these set up. So if I go back to here, well, no, it should take it. Because on the reverse side, no, because it's probably playing the line backwards. So can you receive only one input? No, you can receive two. So I will take a copy of this. Let me rename this one. This is we don't care about using last keyframe. And I'll flip these. Okay, so I got there, but no closey. Oh, I never set the update value. Cool. Yeah, it kind of works. I'd need to set up another boundary. Check for an overlap if I just spawned in. We don't want that to trigger until whichever. And actually I can just make this one smaller. And then I'll spawn here. When I hit it, it'll fire. Same thing on this one, is make this a little bit smaller. So that I actually have to come out of the door. I don't accidentally hit it when I spawn in. Now, whether or not I'm going to convert these to C++ objects, I don't know. There's no real benefit to do it. The work to benefit ratio. Like, having the characters on C++ gives me a lot of advantages because I can go through and modify a lot of the stuff behind them, but this is a simple object. It's noon o'clock. I have to go work on the car, so I'm going to jump off here, and see you later.